Unlike traditional captioning, CART provides full, immediate access, real-time transcription, enhancing accessibility in classrooms, workplaces, and at events like this today. Captions will be displayed on the screens. In addition to access the live captions on your mobile device, you can simply scan the QR code displayed. This is just the beginning. We aim to continue this practice wherever and whenever possible to ensure inclusivity remains a priority within our institution. To ensure the best accuracy, please keep noise levels to a minimum so the transcriber can hear clearly. I give them enough trouble speaking. And also ask that you silence your phones, cell phones, to minimize distractions. Thank you for helping us create an accessible environment for all. So I want to thank our accessibility team, the CTEL group, for pulling and putting this together. It's a lot of work and scenes behind the scenes, and they do a wonderful, wonderful job. I'm going to make one other promotion this morning too. That we've all been hearing about cyber attacks, cyber security, and we've been sending emails from IT. You're getting some from myself, and it's about getting this multi-factor authorization done. Today, there's 2 classes that are already filled up for where you can go and learn about this multi-factor authorization. It's an additional step for security. But out in front of Building 17, in that, not right in front of the building, but a little further out where the sidewalks intersect, there's a table set up, and you'll see IT staff in their purple shirts who will help you through the process. If you have not already done it, it's important, because eventually you're not going to be able to log in and get to Workday and other things without this being done. So we encourage you, take advantage of today, those folks, and enjoy what we do. Now, finally, I just want to say thank you to everyone. You may or may not know that President Alston will begin on Monday, and he will join us, and so he sends through me a message to thank you all. He looks forward to joining us Monday. He could not change travel arrangements that he had to be here and join us today, but like all of you, I'm going to give him my dedication and support as we walk into a new era. And so congratulations to President Alston, and thank you for all the support I've seen in the past year. You are a tremendous school. The last 11 months has just opened my eyes again and again to the quality of folks we have. I've done what I could to help many of you. I encourage others who need to now know there's going to be another whole round of opportunities, acting positions opening up again. So you keep plugging ahead and know that I am in your corners and will be working to do the best I can on many fronts. So today, enjoy Professional Development Day. I couldn't think of a nicer event to spend my last day in this role. Monday, I'll move on to the Chief Operating Officer position. I will be around. Keep calling me, whatever I can do. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I thank CTEL, the staff, the trustees for putting this day together. And I hear lunch is special. So enjoy your morning and the day. And I thank you again. It's now my pleasure to Mr. Anthony Stewart, who was the manager of an alumni engagement. So let's go on with the show. Thank you.
Thank you, President Estrad, and really thank you for your service. Good morning, Broward College family. Is everybody warmed up? When I woke up this morning, it was sunny and cold. I thought, this is like a heat wave in Scotland. People would be running around in shorts and heading to the beach already. As some of you know, I work in the Office of Advancement, the foundation, where my colleagues work very hard to secure gifts and donations to benefit our students, our faculty, and this institution. And I know that I have partnered with several of you over the past 3 years to bring the alumni program to the benefit of our students, and I thank you for those opportunities. Today, I have 2 roles. My first role is to introduce our exemplary alumni speakers in a moment. My second role is to encourage each and every one of you to sign up today to become donors by giving $1 or $2 per paycheck. I know that $1 or $2 doesn't sound like much, but the impact of all of us giving a lot is immense, and it benefits the over 3,000 students who rely on donor-funded scholarships each year. So please look for me and my colleague Elisa Stone from the foundation, the advancement office. We'll be in front of the library during the community hours. We'll have a table, we'll have a prize wheel. Everyone who signs up today to become a donor through payroll deduction will walk away with a prize. We also have a beautiful pickleball bag full of pickleball goodies. So that could be yours. It's my privilege, one of the great pleasures in this role, is to bring our alumni back to campus. Often it's to benefit our students so they can be inspired and learn from their stories, but today it's for all of us, faculty and staff. So it's my pleasure to introduce our first alumna speaker, Simona Miolescu. She's a double alumna, classes of 2018 and 2021. Simona? Simona, I know that people can read your bio in the program, but I just want to bring up something interesting to me. I'm sure that many of us here have heard of Transylvania. And it sounds quite distant and exotic at the same time, and mysterious. But could you tell us in a nutshell how you got from that place to Broward County?
Sure. So let me just say this first. I don't bite, at least not before midnight. So I came to South Florida as a student, and many, many years ago, sponsored through the community and the local church. And I met my husband here. We had our daughter. We have a little house, and we're happy to be here and enjoy the community and enjoy this beautiful country where all the dreams come true.
Well, you're a big part of this institution now, as a double alumna, as an adjunct faculty member. You graduated with highest honors, you've received awards, now you're back here helping to inspire and teach the next generation of Broward College educated computer scientists. Would you say that you like Broward College? Would you say that you love Broward College?
That's a hard one, Anthony. BC, I love you.
And how do we say that in Romanian? Let's get a little language lesson.
BC, te iubesc.
BC, te iubesc. Without further ado, Simona, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Anthony, and thank you, Michelle, for having me. I am humbled and honored to be here. More so as I know I am but one of thousands of South Floridians, and many of you in this hall today with similar or unique stories of resilience. For you to be here, that's a story of resilience. And all of these stories are interesting and inspiring in their own special way. Your story is interesting and inspiring. I don't think mine is too special, but I'll share a little bit of it with you today. Technological advances, globalization, outsourcing, just a few of the factors that continue to disrupt the US labor landscape. Still forcing many professionals out of their careers, including HR professionals, including me. More than 10 years ago, when my job of many years as an HR manager went obsolete. So I picked myself up by the bootstraps, and I decided right then and there that I was going to try to set out and conquer the very thing that disrupted my life in the first place, technology. To do so, I knew that I needed to go back to school. So I picked up a little bit of courage and I signed up for the computer science program with Broward College here on Central Campus. Scary proposition at the time, as my exposure to computers was very limited. I'd say I probably was comfortable doing email and basic HRIS functions using pretty antiquated machines and outdated software. But I talked myself into taking one class. That was to be my first ever computer science class, and my first ever in a class with computers in it. That's right, I'm a Gen Xer, Generation X, the last generation to be schooled without computers, for the most part. Every generation thereafter, they were practically born with one in their hands. So back to school I go. And that's when the magic started to happen. Right here in Central Campus, Building 13. And it started with Professor Felicidad Archila. She made sure I signed up for the second class and the third one and the one after that. And she guided me all throughout many years and many tears. Because I kept thinking I was going to fail every class I took. She guided me to the AS and the BS programs. She shared with me her passion for Broward College, for computer science, for technology, for education. She shared with all of her students, and she still does. She shares her heart. She inspires everyone, and everyone that I've spoken to were inspired by Felicidad, and they still are. I was merely a junior analyst, entry-level position, started a new job. But Professor Archila was very interested, genuinely, passionately, to hear about my newly found passion for data analytics. As she was shaping what today is a vast and comprehensive portfolio of data analytics and AI courses with Broward College, She was seeking input from everyone and anyone. And she was seeking input from her students. And then I remember one day, I was barely halfway through my bachelor program, that she said to me, well, so now, you're gonna graduate, you're gonna go get your master's degree, and you're gonna come back here and teach with us. And I thought, wow, what a dream to dream. I said, wow, how can that be possible? But then she said it to me again. Make sure you look into those master's programs. There's lots of them, you do great. And by the time I graduated, what sounded like a dream started to become a possibility. And then I looked into some programs, and then I applied, and I got accepted into a Master's of Data Science with Eastern University. Me, in a Master's of Data Science. A few years back, I didn't know what an Excel spreadsheet was all about. Like I said, magic. Professor Archila, the magician. But there's more than one magician in Building 13. Professor Brian Ferris walked me through the most difficult classes ever, the networking class. I thought I was going to fail the networking class. He talked me off the ledge. And then you have Eddie and Sandy in Building 13. Esther Sims and Sandy Bernard. AKA Chaos Coordinators. I'd be lost without them. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the proud college resident magicians in Building 13. Computers, they don't really inspire. Textbooks, not so much. Teachers inspire. There is a parable popularized by Peter Drucker's 1954 book, The Practice of Management. It is the parable of the 3 stonecutters, and it goes something like this. A traveling wise man comes across 3 stonecutters on a quarry. He stops and asks them what they are doing. The first stonecutter, hunched over a large block of stone, doesn't even look up. He's very busy working and says, "Can't you see, man? I'm just cutting rocks." The second stonecutter looks up for a second and says, "I'm making a wall." Goes back to work. The third stonecutter looks up, stands up, puts down his tools, and gestures proudly towards the horizon. "I am building a cathedral." Little side note. I don't know, Professor Ferris, how ChatGPT got a hold of your picture. But I swear to you, I didn't load it into the software, I promise you. Handsome little stonecutter, don't you think? don't know Professor Ferris, don't you think it looks a little bit like Professor Ferris? Building cathedrals. So, all of you here today building cathedrals, and all of you out there building cathedrals. I say thank you. I thank you for your heart. I thank you for your kindness. I thank you for caring, because this job you do is a mission. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I thank you for inspiring me and for continuing to inspire generations of Broward College students. Thank you.
Cathedral builders, here we go. It's my pleasure to introduce an alumna from the class of 1980, Yasmin Teja. Yasmin, I know you have a very interesting CV resume, but I wanted to ask you, what inspired you from going from a successful career in accounting and finance to working in academic support and teaching?
So I came back, good morning everyone. I came back to Broward College because I wanted to pay it forward. I had made a promise to Broward College that I would come and work. So I didn't come. So the reason I came back to Broward College is because I wanted to pay it forward. I had made a promise to Broward College president, then Dr. A. Adams, that I would come back and work. So that is why I gave up my job and came back to work at Broward College. I kept my
promise. So Yasmin, you're an alumna, you're a former Broward College employee, and you're back here today on this stage in front of all of us. Would you say that you like Broward College, or do you love Broward College?
That's an easy one. I love Broward College.
Now, I find exotic languages very fascinating. I was fascinated to learn that your mother tongue is actually Swahili. So, can you teach us all here today how to say, I love Broward College in Swahili?
Oh, that's easy. Nakupenda. Nakupenda, Broward College.
That sounds almost like a song. Could you sing it?
Wow, he's stretching it. What do you think? Okay, I'm going to give it a try, okay? Broward College, nakupenda, Broward College. College, nakupenda, Broward College. Nakupenda, Broward College. Good morning, Seahawks. I'd like first to acknowledge President Dr. Donald Estrab, Board of Trustees members, Broward College administrators, esteemed faculty, and Broward College's professional staff. It's an honor to be here with you today as a proud alum of Broward College. I would like to express my gratitude to Dean Luz Negron Alvarez for recommending me to speak today, and to AVP Michelle Levine and CTEL staff for inviting me to this year's Professional Development Day. I appreciate this opportunity to share my story with you. My journey is deeply intertwined with the path of my grandparents, who were born in India. They moved to Zanzibar, which is a small island off the east coast of Africa, where later my parents were born. So Zanzibar also became my birthplace. After a coup broke out in Zanzibar, my family fled to join my uncle in Kenya, where I learned Swahili, the national language. I was surrounded with breathtaking landscapes and a rich cultural heritage. And yes, I forged my own version of Denison's book, Out of Africa. One of my most unforgettable childhood experiences in Kenya was going on a safari, where I had a close encounter with a giraffe. I still remember looking up at its towering neck, mesmerized by its caramel eyes and graceful stride. That moment deepened my love for nature and storytelling, two passions that continue to shape my journey. In Kenya, I also attended a local school with British accreditation and graduated with honors in economics from the University of Cambridge in London, England. Later, my family prepared for the final migration and our permanent home for over 40 years, the United States. Imagine arriving in a new country as an international student, your heart full of dreams, a suitcase packed with hope, and the golden ticket of a Broward College scholarship. That was me when I first stepped onto BC North Campus as an international student, and Broward College welcomed me warmly. A pivotal moment came when I was invited to an international students' luncheon by Dr. A.U. Adams, Broward's third college president. Despite arriving late due to public transportation challenges, I had a life-changing conversation with Dr. Adams. He asked me to share my experiences and later invited my professors to provide feedback on my progress. This interaction led me to become a presidential scholar, an honor that shaped both my academic and my professional paths. I had no idea then that Broward College would not only shape my education, but also support my entire life's purpose. Therefore, my story has been one of deep gratitude for Broward College. Today's Professional Development Day theme, Adapt and Thrive, resonates deeply with me. As a Broward College graduate, I've seen firsthand how essential embracing change and navigating challenges are not only in education, but in every aspect of our life. My journey has been one of resilience, growth, and discovery. And if there's one lesson that stands out, it's this. You don't get stronger by doing what you can, but by doing what you thought you couldn't. So what does it mean to adapt and thrive? It's not just about surviving. It's about growing through change after change. And that's exactly what Broward College taught me. My many connections to Broward College are personal, professional, and above all, transformative. I first learned about Broward College at the library. With my brother's support of $500, I enrolled at Broward Community College, named so at that time. During the first term, I was very fortunate to meet very fine faculty, including Professor Trish Joyce. Who guided and encouraged me along the seasons of my academic and professional career advancements. After each term, I made a point to meet with Dr. Adams to ensure that I had maintained my professional scholar status. I tried hard to balance academic achievement with working in the business department and the writing center, and proctoring periodic class exams on the weekends for the testing center. Earning honors and a transfer scholarship to FAU, I learned from Dr. Adams that the Broward College Foundation would help cover my international student fees. At Florida Atlantic University, I worked as a resident assistant, pursued leadership roles in student government, and advocated for student initiatives. Memorably, I was invited to Henderson School at the FAU campus, where I shared insights about Kenya's culture and language. In 2 years, I graduated with a bachelor's degree in business, majoring in finance. Thereafter, I enrolled in the MBA program, having been selected as a recipient of the Business Department Scholarship Program. Broward College Foundation assisted with my international fees once again, reinforcing my belief in the ethic of giving back. By 1987, I had reached 3 major milestones. I graduated with my MBA degree, received my green card, and had secured a job as a financial analyst in downtown Miami. I wrote a modest check for $250 after my first month's employment and met with Dr. Adams again to explain that I wanted to help a deserving student. After sharing my Pay It Forward plan, Dr. Adams leaned on the table and said, "Students aren't required to return the money provided by the foundation." Then he added, "You are not going to have it easy. If you are truly serious about paying it forward, go out into the community and serve with the same dedication and commitment. With that, he returned my check, and I left his office filled with gratitude and deep self-reflection. After 22 years in the corporate America and in government as a financial analyst, senior accountant, and finally as a state auditor, I found myself recalling Dr. Adams' advice. The call to serve was strong, and at the peak of my career, I left behind what I had built. With my husband's unwavering support, I returned to school. Reconnecting with my academic roots at Broward College, I started working part-time in the reading lab while pursuing another master's degree at Nova Southeastern University, this time in reading education. I also began teaching all levels of reading and student life skills, as well as classes, as an adjunct professor, and around this time, I also accepted a full-time position as testing coordinator at North Campus. Teaching here at the college as an adjunct professor became more than just a job. As with many of you, it was my calling. Seeing students overcome challenges, develop confidence, and succeed academically reaffirmed that I had made the right decision. I was among the many faculty who also participated in Learning Communities program with the theme of greening the campus, wherein students' recycling efforts were rewarded by the new Learning Communities title of Sustainability Ambassador. For my first term at Broward College, until the present time, my BC mentor, Trish Joyce, was there, cheering me on and being my rock in moments of struggle. I'm grateful for her wisdom, kindness, and belief in me. Indeed, she shaped me into the educator that I am today. Thank you, Trish. Retirement did not mark the end of my journey. It was simply the beginning of a new chapter. As a community advocate, my passion for service extended beyond the classroom, leading me to work alongside city mayors, city commissioners, and city officials. In this volunteer role, I had the opportunity to engage directly with community leaders, advocating for initiatives that improved education, resources, and opportunities for residents. My background in finance and education proved invaluable as I contributed to policy discussions, community development projects, and outreach efforts to make a tangible difference in people's lives. During the pandemic, when communities faced unprecedented challenges, I became involved in food relief efforts, It was a time of immense hardship for many, but also of incredible resilience and generosity from the community. Seeing the impact of these initiatives, families receiving meals, children no longer going to bed hungry, and neighbors supporting one another, was a reminder that success is measured by positive change. Even in retirement, I found fulfillment in giving back, using my skills and network to uplift those around me. This experience reinforced my lifelong belief that true success is measured not by personal achievements, but by the positive change that we create in the lives of others. Sometimes the best opportunities come when we least expect them. I wasn't looking for a job when the opportunity to work with Broward County Libraries opened the door with many blessings. For the past 5 years, I've embraced my purpose-driven journey with passion, dedication, and a deep sense of fulfillment. Seeing the joy on a child's face during story time at the library, helping a patron with the county's Big Read, or supporting individuals in their educational and career goals reminds me daily why I do this work. Motivated by my love for libraries and community service, I am now pursuing a master's in library and information science degree at the University of South Florida. This degree program is a unique opportunity, returning me to my roots and my love of promoting literacy. It will allow me to better serve our community and prepare me to become a professional librarian. Throughout my journey, one truth has remained clear. To truly succeed, we must learn to adapt and thrive. As I continue my journey, I carry with me the invaluable lessons of perseverance, mentorship, and the importance of giving back. Principles that have guided me from my earliest academic endeavors. It is also true that life is filled with unexpected twists and turns. I never imagined that the challenges I faced as an international student would shape me into who I am today, or that an opportunity at Broward County Libraries would open a door to my life's purpose. Adapting to new environments, embracing change, and remaining committed to personal growth has not always been easy. But those very few moments of uncertainty have been the ones that allow me to thrive. Whether it's witnessing a child's joy during story time or helping someone reach their educational goals, I'm reminded that growth happens when we step outside of our comfort zones and meet challenges with resilience. I am filled with so much gratitude to be back to Broward College today. I want to thank Broward College for changing my world. And thank you all for the work you do every day to change the world for others. Together, we can continue to adapt, thrive, and make a lasting difference. Thank you.
Yasmin, thank you for giving back by coming back and sharing your story with us. It's my pleasure to introduce our third alumnus speaker, Virginie Iusi, class of 2018. Welcome, Virginie.
Thank you for having me.
I know we want to get to your speech, so I just have two quick questions for you. Virginie, I think that you came to BC as a student after your military service.
I did.
After being a paratrooper, tours in Afghanistan. Now as an alumna and adjunct faculty, what is it like right at this moment for you to be here on this stage?
It's surreal. It's always surreal when I get to come back and share what I've gained from Broward College with those of you who are going to go out and impact the next generation of Broward College Seahawks.
I know that I've been lucky in smaller settings and larger settings to hear Virginie talk. I hope that many of you who were present at the spring commencement last year got to hear Virginie's speech. But Virginie, for many people, public speaking really ranks up high amongst the sources of anxiety. But for you, was there ever a time when public speaking scared you more than jumping out of an aircraft at 15,000 feet?
Not in recent years, no. I would probably say when I was a child, when I was 5 years old, I was in a wedding. And I was afraid that my parents were actually marrying me off. I was a flower girl. And so that was my first real experience with stage fright. And then I had to sing a song at my kindergarten graduation, and it was ridiculous. So after that, I just kind of purposed within myself that I was going to conquer this fear. And it's been a thing ever since, yeah.
Well, Virginie, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you so much. Okay. All right, well, good morning, everyone. Like my introduction said, my name is Virginie Iusi. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I am adjunct staff here at Broward College. I teach Introduction to Social Work, and I am also an Army combat veteran, 4 tours in Afghanistan. And none of that pales in comparison to being a twin mom. I have 8-year-old twin girls and a son who is 9 years old that we adopted after fostering for almost 6 years. So when I got the opportunity to come back here and talk to you guys about adapting and thriving, it really did bring me back to my own journey and some of the experiences that I had that required me to make some really difficult choices about my life. You know, like when you set out as a child and you have all these dreams and all these plans, you don't really include trauma, you don't include like difficulties, you don't include failing tests or, you know, losing a spouse. In my case, I lost my spouse to suicide in 2013. And so that was, oh, it's okay, I'm doing well. That was a really difficult experience at the time, but something that I really couldn't prepare for. There was no book on how to be a combat soldier and be good at your job while in the Army, while also losing your spouse who was another combat soldier. So it was a period in my life where I had to make some really difficult decisions. Was I going to adapt and survive, or was I going to adapt and thrive? And so throughout this whole experience that I've had, thriving has been the goal. I want to thrive through whatever difficulty I am facing, not just for myself, but as you guys know, as staff and faculty here, you know, people are always watching. and you are an influence whether or not you want to be. So, if that is the case, then what are you showing people? How are you showing up for them? How are you showing up for yourself? And so I had to make some hard choices, and I really believe, I'm a therapist, and so I really believe in empowering my clients to make good decisions for their lives. Decisions that they can stand by, that they can be proud of, and that they are willing to stick with throughout the duration of their life. It doesn't mean that we don't have the opportunity to change, but we are making decisions intentionally and conscientiously, which is so important. I want to be an active participant in my life, not passive. And when we're passive, when we take the passive stance, what we're doing is we're throwing our hands up in the air and saying, if it happens, it happens. You know, if I make it, I make it. If they really want me to have the job, they'll give it to me. If they really want me to be in this relationship, they'll stay with me. If you know, it's really meant for me to be successful, then it's going to happen. I have no control over my life. I get no say. That is the passive participant. We become robots in our own lives. We're not present. But if I want to be active, if I want people to recognize me, if I want to be an impact in someone else's life in a positive way, I have to be intentional. I have to look at the things that I'm being given as an opportunity and make some really hard choices. I have to decide in those moments not to sacrifice the great thing for the good thing. It's hard. It's hard. When my husband died, I was given the opportunity to get out of the military because, you know, the big assumption is that she's broken. Like, this is going to destroy her. She's not going to be able to function. And that would have been the good thing. But I knew that inside of me there was still greatness to be achieved. I don't know where it came from. I wasn't looking for it. I don't know that I believed it, but from a logical sense, I understood that people could change. I joined the military, I was a makeup artist and a ballerina, and then all of a sudden I was a soldier in combat. That's a change, you know? I got to witness it in my own life. And so I had that little bit of fire in me. I don't know if you can tell by my personality, but I'm not quiet. I'm not soft-spoken. I kind of just go and grab the bull by the horns, and if it's hard, it's okay. And I go after the things that scare me because I know that in those times of fear, I am growing exponentially. If I only do what's comfortable, I'm only going to get the comfortable result. And that, to me, is boring. I don't want to be boring, right? So I had to make some really difficult decisions. The good thing in that circumstance would probably be for me to get out of the military and go back home and let my parents take care of me and, you know, nurse my wounds and all of that. And I had some legitimate concerns with my mental health. A few years later, I was diagnosed with PTSD, and I had to go through that whole journey of recovery. But I couldn't let go of that fire. And so I want to implore you today, don't let go of your fire. Students are difficult. Teaching is hard. The bureaucracy of this institution can be a challenge, but don't let go of your fire. If you got into this field, why did you do it in the first place? Where are your opportunities to adapt and thrive? Where is your opportunity to make an impact? And are you sleeping on yourself? There are people waiting for you to succeed. They need to see you do better so that they can believe that they can be better. I had such a beautiful experience with that. When I came to Broward College, I met someone who was in this room, Dr. Ulrich Balzora, and he changed my life. He changed my life. Not because he saw me as the broken soldier with PTSD, but he saw me as this woman that was full of greatness. I just needed someone to believe in me. I needed someone to see past the experiences, the grief, the pain, the trauma, all of those things, and say, you know what? I see that it's difficult for you now, but I know that there's a warrior in you, and you're going to make it because I will accept nothing less than success. He compelled me to be successful. He pushed me beyond what I perceived to be my limits. That little spark inside of my belly grew into an inferno, and it has carried me all the way to where I am right now. which is part of the reason why anytime Broward College calls on me, I will be there. Anytime. You guys, as faculty, as staff, you have an opportunity to change lives. Don't take it for granted. When I work with my students, I am driven by the hope that if I can show up for them, they will show up for themselves. That is powerful. We have a choice. We have a choice on how we're going to be in this world. We don't have to be passive. We don't have to throw in the towel. We don't have to give up. We don't have to just accept things as the status quo. We can be active. We can make really difficult decisions. We can make really hard choices. We can fight ourselves, fight through the fear, fight through the anxiety, fight through the depression, fight through the hurt, fight through the disappointment, fight through the expectations that weren't met. We can fight through all of these things and show up in a way that shows someone else you can do it too, because you chose to. Not because it was handed to you, not because it was easy, but because you made a decision to believe in something maybe bigger than yourself. Or to believe that that person that believes in something in you, maybe they're onto something. What an incredible experience it is to be here. After being the speaker for the commencement ceremony in May, and watching like a culmination of my life's work. That sounds silly to me when I say that, but you know, that soldier that deployed for the first time in 2010, never pictured being on that stage in May of 2024. I didn't even know it was possible. But in 2018, when I got out of the military, Dr. Balzora believed it was possible. Maybe he didn't say, oh my gosh, one day she's going to be the commencement speaker. But he said, there's something in her. We're not going to let her fail. We're not going to let her go. And I've watched him do that over and over and over and over and over again. And I get exhausted for him. I'm like, Dr. B, it's time. I'm a therapist. I'm like, it's time. He is relentless in the pursuit of his students. He is relentless in the pursuit of calling out the greatness in the students that don't see it in themselves. And so I want you to be inspired today. I want you to be inspired. And look at that person, me. 2013, I was widowed at 27. It was awful. It was awful. And 29 days after that, I went back to Afghanistan to war because war was home. To my 4th deployment. That says a lot about the state of mind a person is in. And then 2018, I was in Broward College. And I thought, I'm just going to get my BAH. My veterans that are there, it's the payment that the government gives you for going to school. I was like, I'm just going to collect BAH, so I don't have to get a job yet. I just got out of the military. And in that decision, and even with that intention, my life transformed into what it is today. And I'm so grateful, so honored, and so privileged to be here with you guys today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to Simona, Yasmin, Rajani, and to Anthony for bringing them up on stage for us. I hope that this served as a really special reminder, as it did to me, how important our work is. We truly are transforming lives. You know, some of us are lucky enough to be right there with the students, right? We work directly with the students in the classroom, we're advising, and we are able to see them personally through their journeys. We all have our stories of our Yasmins and our Rajanis and Simonas, but some of you are a little bit more behind the scenes, and I love Simona's parable because I really hope that you see that every single piece fits into this puzzle. To be able to see this today, and this is the work that we're doing, we're so lucky and we're so fortunate, and I thank all of you for the work that you're doing, and I hope that this was just a really good inspiration for you as it was for me.